had some serious Alpine lovers in my last video where I said loops were the best of the best earplugs. I bought two. I got the Alpine Tune and the Alpine Silence. When I took their quiz online, they pointed me to these two, so I bought them both. The Silence is a beautiful blue color. I love it. However, it doesn't filter any sound. It's just a silicone earplug. Very comfortable, but unfortunately not what I'm looking for. These Tunes are gorgeous. They're gold, and they are supposed to filter out noise. The noise reduction on this is 14, and with the loops, it is an 8, and then an 18 with the mutes. So immediately when I took these out of the package, I hated the case. These hinges are very, very flimsy. They're just like a thin plastic, and the case is pretty hard to open. I chipped a nail. Compared to the loop case, which has an actual hinge, and it is much easier to open and close. These Alpines are also left and right specific. I don't think I've seen earplugs like that before, and I think it is simply just because it's an oval shape and not round like the loops. I particularly do not enjoy that because I don't want to have to sit here, look at the case, figure out which ear to put it in. It's just kind of a hassle. Also, changing these tips out was difficult for some reason. I don't know what they did. I'm sure it's just to make sure that they stay on there, but it was really hard, especially compared to my loops. Luckily, you only have to do it a couple times until you get the right fit. Because these have an acoustic filter on them, they are not washable. So you could take the tips off and wash those separately, but you cannot wash the whole thing like you can with the loops. The loops have an acoustic channel, not an acoustic filter. So you can wash these, but you cannot wash these. I will say too, these are a little bit more tricky to get used to putting them in. The V has to go down onto your ear so it sits correctly, just like that. Now the gold is gorgeous. I do think that they are a lot more, like you can see them immediately, and it draws a bit of interest. They did not have like a transparent option like I have with my loops, whereas these look kind of like, you know, you can't really tell what they are. It kind of matches my pink undertone. Nobody's gonna know what is what, right? So these Alpine plugs, I will say, when I have both of them in, the echo in my head is a lot less. So I did enjoy that. However, it filters all sound, the clanging, the crashing, and the stuff that I don't like. This will still let that through because it lets all frequencies through. It just kind of dumbs it down. So think of it like turning down a volume. And even though it had a higher noise reduction rating, I actually found myself able to hear better and let more sound through with these. Now, the loops, on the other hand, these will filter out high frequency noises. It will let in the low frequencies, the low tones and everything, but not the high frequencies, which is what I still really enjoy. When I had these tunes in, my ears were still getting irritated. I was still getting that weird rumbling in my ears when a frequency is too high. It really just bothered me. So when I switched them out for the loops, I didn't have that issue anymore. My final point is that these loops, you have the ability to change out the tips, right? So you have foam tips for more ear reduction. You have mutes for more noise reduction. You can really customize it to what you need, whereas the Alpines, you can't. So these Alpines were about 30 euro and the loops were about 40 euro. With all that being said, I will be returning these, and I still stand on that loops are better than Alpine. I'm sorry. I really wanted to love these. I was really interested. Just unfortunately, they didn't work out for me. But if they work for you, amazing. I love that. Stick with them. Thank you for putting me on and letting me check it out. That way I'll never be knowing if I made the wrong decision or not. Anyway, okay, bye.